Guys, good evening, guys, and welcome to our weekly commentary on GU, right? Like I always say, we trade one pair, one session, one trade every day. That's how we trade, right? So this week we'll be looking at trying to anticipate. Okay, we're trying to anticipate what the market is doing today, right? So you guys, welcome, guys. Trust we all are doing well today. Sorry we're running a little late, right? Sundays are always crazy busy for me, but just try to make sure I show up, right? Instead of missing, I just have to show up for today. So we're going to be looking at what the currency pairs they're looking like for this week, right? So this week, like the custom is always advise you stick to one pair. So GU is the pair, right? And particularly this week, I'll be trading GU. So we're looking at what we are anticipating for GU, right? If you can hear me, you can just drop a chat in the chat box so I can know that I'm loud and clear and you all can hear me, right? If you can hear me, just drop a chat. Say yes, you can hear me. All right, all right. Welcome, Festy. Trust we're doing great. Okay, so time is fast spent. So we just jump right. Welcome, Deborah. Right, it's good to see you. We just jump straight right into it today. So we're going to be looking at analyzing to see what the current currency, what GU is going to be doing, and we know GU is almost 90% correlated with EU. So anything we're analyzing on GU similar will apply for EU, and the inverse will be the case for DXY, right? Because we know GU and EU are inversely correlated to DXY. So before we start, please ensure watching this video on the YouTube channel, ensure to subscribe, thumbs up, and share so we can reach as many beginner traders and traders that need to improve on their directional bias, because directional bias is key. If you don't know the direction of the market, then all entries and everything will be invalid. If you cannot effectively get your draw on liquidity, then every other thing will be wrong for that particular trade, because this is the first step. This is more important than entry models or any other models. Getting your bias for the week and getting your bias for every day, right? And if you want to know how we get our bias daily, you can go into the channel, God of Indices channel, YouTube channel, and check on our playlist, the Profitable Trader Masterclass. You'll see our strategy, how we look at um, the directional bias. All right, you can get all that for free. That should help you. But if you want more out of the market, then you can contact us for private mentorship. Right. Thank you. So we'll get right straight into it. So I always like to start as a day trader. I always want to start. I always want to maintain, stay on the daily time frame, but I just use the weekly. I just try not to go above the weekly because I just want to get an idea of what the weekly is saying. We notice we've been in this zone for quite a while now on GU, right? We've been in this zone quite a while on GU. So when I go into the weekly, I want to look at what institutional reference points, right? I want to look at where price is currently or where price is coming from and where price is likely to go on the weekly, right? So if we look at our price, we look currently, we see that even on the weekly time frame from the price action, we see that GU is bullish, right? Why? Because it is taking out this last bearish leg that broke structure to the downside, didn't hold. Price closed above this level, closed above this level right here, right? This is giving us a break of market structure, right? So we have all this range right now that price is looking to go through, right? But pay attention to what is happening in the world right now, in the war with Israel and Iran and everything happening, right? So we don't know, is the US dollar going to strengthen or is the US dollar going to weaken? But if we look, pay close attention to what's happened on the weekly time frame here, we see that price has been efficient going upwards, right? So it's the likelihood of price coming retracing to come inside to find inefficiencies here, it's quite very small, right? Because you see, every fair value gap that has been created was filled before price shooting up. So most likely, the most recent fair value gap we have on the weekly time frame is here, which is with price is playing around that zone, right? So price is currently around this zone. Right? This will be our last line of defense for the bullishness for GU. If we get a bearish closure below this fair value gap, then we know we've turned bearish, right? So I just want to go to the weekly to just get an idea of where price is right now. So price is still right now at this fair value gap. So for those support resistance and demand and supply traders, this is a demand zone or a support zone where which price is holding, because we see the previous week's rejection, it didn't close anything below the consequent encroachment of the fair value gap, which is the midpoint of the fair value gap. So what are we looking at? We'll jump straight right into the daily time frame, which is my sweet time frame, because for day trading, right, we want to see what price is doing. If you look at the structure on the daily time frame, we want to see the structure price is giving us, and also want to look for any institutional reference points that will be likely draw on liquidity, and also want to look at the closures, the candle closures on price, right? Looking at this from structural point of view, we see that we are still bullish on the daily time frame. However, we're still at this one. We can see we had a daily rejection, right? We had a daily rejection of this fair value gap, right? See, price stopped right through the consequent encroachment and it rejects, giving us a bullish closure up here. But ever since, we've been ranging between this bearish fair value gap and this zone, right? So I see price too is not closing above the consequent encroachment. So I will boldly say we are within a range on the daily time frame. We are within a range. Why? Because with this long, this impulsive bearish candle, we closed above this zone, giving us a minor break of market structure shift, telling us we are willing to go bearish, right? So price retraced back to the consequent encroachment of this bearish fair value gap, but which held price and it came back down. So we are between this range and this range, right? This is the joy of being a day trader and a scalper. We can still trade within this range, right? So one thing, if we get a bullish closure above this bearish fair value gap, we know that we have confirmed our bullishness and we'll just continue going up to take out this buy side liquidity and create highs, right? New highs in the market. And also, if we break below, right, this weekly bullish fair value gap with a candle closure, right? Since it's a weekly, now take note, since it's a weekly fair value gap, we will need for a weekly candle to break below this to confirm that we are bearish, right? If it was a daily, then you need a daily body candle closure below it. Take note of that. That is very important. You always want to look for body candle closures for the particular time frame that created the institutional reference point. So right now we are in a range, but we can trade this range, right? So like we always say in our God of Indices strategy, we always look at the daily range to see where we'll trade, right? So this is a 50-50 scenario, right? Price can break and be bearish, or price can break close above this. This is the last line of defense for the bearishness, right? This bearish fair value gap. Once price closes, because it's a daily bearish fair value gap, once we get any daily body candle closure above, we know we are confirmed we'll start going up, right? But you could go to the lower time frames, the H4, H1, to find your structural point and still trade this range, right? I taught that free of charge on our channel, how I go into trading, scalping, and day trading every day. So you can find your entries on that level. You can go to the M15 to also see structure, right? So H4, let me just go straight down to the H4. You see, H4 is the same thing, right? We are still within the range on H4, rejecting let's say a bearish fair value gap that price rejected off of, and we got a rejection which broke we got a rejection which broke structure to the upside on H4 time frame, right? So like I said, we're in a range. Both sides are valid here, right? Can either go for the sell to take out this sell side liquidity, or we can close above this daily fair value gap, bearish fair value gap, and take out this buy side liquidity up here, right? So I'll advise you with what is happening fundamentally, the war in Israel and um, Iran, anything can happen. The best type of trader to be right now is to be a day trader or a scalper, right? Because if you hold a swing position, the one something can happen that will just invalidate your position in a matter of minutes, right? The best side to be is to be in and out of the market, which is what we teach in the God of Indices strategy. If you want to know more about our advanced trading strategy, right? Yes, the model we have on YouTube can work for you, right? But if you want to know more about the advanced level, you can also hit us up, right? You can just click on our Telegram link and join our free Telegram and just contact us on how to get private mentorship to learn how we look at the market. So going into this week, this is what it's looking like. This is what price is telling us, right? Please pay in mind, no matter the fundamental, there will always be price action, right? Technical to give you a clue to what is going to happen. So this is where we are right now. We're in a range on GU, right? So hopefully today, right? Okay, tomorrow. Okay, we're not yet in the next day. So hopefully Monday is going to give us a clear view, right? So we are looking for these two places to break to give us direction where we are heading for the week. If this breaks, we are bearish. If this breaks, we are bullish. So this is what we're looking at going into the week. Do you have any questions or anything? You can drop your questions, or you can unmute yourself. I think you should be able to unmute yourself and ask your question. Thank you. Is that clear? Do we have any questions? Okay, questions, or is it clear? I'm saying yes, so everything clear, right? Are we good to go? No questions? Okay, okay. So that's what we'll be looking at going to this week. So if you want to trade Monday, just look for lower time frame confirmations on your M15, M30, H1 to trade the direction of structure, or to trade out the model we provide, our scalping method we provide the group. So you can also trade that. But if you want full direction for the week, you'll wait for these levels to be invalidated, either the bearish FEG or the bullish FEG to be invalidated. Thank you so much. Let's have a lovely and good, and remember to trade safe. Trade safe, right? Trade safe in the market.